making this video about people who maybe you have a good heart, maybe you have pure intentions, maybe you do a lot for people, you're just not like everybody else. And I don't necessarily, a lot of people want to associate that with being a pushover, being, somebody who doesn't know their value. No, I'm talking about people who, for example, yesterday, my coworker who was sick, we ended up having to call the ambulance for her. And people were just standing around her. And there was a guy who was actively trying to engage with her, because he had been in military training. And he was trying to, ask her questions and keep her awake and things like that. And I was, leaning over her as well, asking her if she knew who I was. And they were just standing around. Like the other people were just standing around. And so I got her a blanket, I put it under her head. And I said, Julie, what do you need? Because they were going to, bring the ambulance and come get her. And she said, well, I think I need my purse and some other things. And so I gathered everything that she needed, and I got, a list of stuff she took for medicine, so that way the ambulance could have it in hand. And so I was prepared to leave work and to follow her to the hospital so that I could get her settled and wait for whoever her immediate family was to arrive. So I was going to leave work, go with her, and get her stuff settled and stay with her until somebody who was of her family, her immediate family, or somebody who was close to her could arrive at the hospital while they were trying to figure out why she had passed out. Everybody else was just standing around and not really doing anything, just, observing. Like one person was calling, the ambulance, and then another guy was trained on, asking questions and trying to keep her awake, which both of them were helpful, but everybody else was just standing around staring. And I'm like, so I tried to do what I knew to do for her, and I was going to go to the hospital with her, but everybody else is just staring. And as I'm telling and, updating people about her progress, about whatever was wrong with her, that was found out, later on. Certain people were just, I don't know, it's like nothing fazed them. It's like, oh, okay. Like it, there was no empathy. I'm not saying everybody that I encountered was that way. I'm just saying there was some people that I did, and I noticed like more and more people just act like they don't give a damn about nobody. They don't have any empathy. And so I was just making an example. That example is not to say that I'm some hero. I didn't do really anything. I grabbed her belongings, I grabbed her phone, and I was going to follow her over to the hospital and get her something if she needed it. I'm not out here to make myself some kind of hero. No. I'm just making an example that she didn't have anybody in the moment. She was at work, and all that happened. And to imagine how she felt with that happening and just being vulnerable and I worked with this lady for months and months and months, I wasn't going to leave her in a situation where she didn't have her stuff at least. But, other people just, they're just aloof. Just no feeling at all. And the point I'm trying to make here is you could literally be an earth angel. You could be the kindest, warm-hearted individual who has integrity, who has a conscience, and you could be the best person to someone, and they just don't give a damn. I'm trying to correlate that with relationships, whether it's a friendship or whether it is a romantic interest. People do not value people like that anymore. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have people walk all over you as if you are a stepping stone for them. I'm just talking about people who are not selfish, who are not vindictive, who are not dishonest, who are not out here trying to take from other people and be like a bunch of other nasty people. You're not appreciated for anything. It doesn't matter how good you are to someone. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are, how good you are to people. They will literally go out of their way to treat you disrespectfully and inhumane. And then on top of it, they'll choose somebody who is, they don't compare to you, to say the least. I don't even mean that they're even in comparison. I mean that they'll purposely choose somebody who is worse than you. Like, I'm talking about, they lie. They are, selfish. They are out for themselves. But maybe they look a certain way that somebody likes, or, this person feeds their ego. There's one thing that maybe this person provides this person, but they're choosing a person that is no good. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's a friend or a romantic interest, people do not value people who have morals, people who have a pure heart, people who have integrity, and even though it can be easy to choose to be selfish, to choose to be hateful, to choose to be a certain way because it's not valued in this world, people will go out of their way to choose friends or romantic partners over you, to go choose somebody who's karmic, to choose somebody who is going to basically teach them a lesson, which they need to learn the lesson, because if they're going to choose that, they need to learn the lesson. But what I'm getting at is, don't ever stop being a decent human being just because other human beings are stupid and selfish, unempathetic, unfeeling, unkind, disrespectful, dismissive, narcissistic. I'm not saying everybody is, but that's a narcissistic trait. Basically, I'm saying people can carry those kinds of traits. Don't stop being a decent human being because of that. Because I can tell you from my own personal experience, I'm not saying I always embodied a selfless, warm-hearted demeanor. I'm not not saying that I went, viciously and lied to people, but, being younger, I wasn't always the person I am today. So there were times in my life where I chose people like that. But as I've gotten older, I'm not having anything to do with anybody that I see chooses people who are no good to have in their life. They need to grow up. I'm basically not choosing anybody to be in my life who has got these karmic people around them. They don't appreciate what a decent human being would actually be. They're all in their ego, arrogant, unempathetic, don't have any morals, don't have any conscience, don't have anything to do with people like that anymore. I gave an example of what I did, but it's not about getting recognition for anything that I did for this lady. I'm just making an example that everybody else was just staring. Like, why not try to be helpful? Why not try to, if you feel like you can't do anything, just don't get in her face. But that's what I don't understand about people anymore. It's just, they will literally have somebody who will treat them far beyond better than they deserve, in my opinion. And then they will treat that person like they are unvaluable, like there's nothing valuable about them. And then go over here to somebody who ain't worth a damn, who doesn't embody any kind of character that you want to have anything to do with if you're a decent human being, and act like they're the most valuable human being on earth. That don't make no sense. That doesn't make any sense anymore. I stay by myself because I just see people caught up in patterns of doing that they want to call what is right wrong and what is wrong right. So what I'm saying is, they'll choose the person that they don't need to have nothing to do with versus the other person that they needed, that could still teach them some lessons, but it's not going to put them in a situation where they're left in regret, they're left in pain, they're left in a mess, and they do it to themselves. That's what I don't understand, is they'll do it to themselves. But they don't appreciate decent people. People anymore do not appreciate decent people. And I'm not going to change my character because someone doesn't appreciate me, because, hell, I haven't been appreciated by a lot of people, which is why they're not here. But I just want to give you recognition if you're one of those people that you can't just be a cold, heartless, selfish, moralist person who just goes around taking from people and causing destruction upon them. I want to give you some recognition that I'm sorry that people have not treated you the way that you should be treated, that they have taken you for granted. And I'll make an example. There's this movie called Stardust. And this is a perfect lesson by giving an example of this movie. So in Stardust, this man who has his baby, it's a son. And so the son is infatuated with this girl. But the girl that he's infatuated with, she is an entitled, selfish, cold, nasty human being. And he's in love with her. And he wants to marry her. Go figure. What else is new? Another scenario where somebody's choosing trash. I don't mean that they're homeless or whatever. I mean, like, I think people are trash when they are karmic like that. But what I'm getting at is, so this girl, he just, worships her and just bows at her feet. And she is not worthy of his attention, of his time, of his love. Because she doesn't care about him. So she basically responds and said, okay, well, I'll marry you if you go and get me this star. And basically what this star is, it's like a star out of the sky, but it's this woman who embodies this star type energy. Like, she can literally physically shine like a star. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, people who have a conscience, people who have morals, people who are kind, people who go out of their way for people, they embody this star energy. So this woman says, okay, you want to marry me? I'm going to need you to go get me that star. So he goes, and it's been a long time since I've seen this movie. He goes and gets this star, and she's basically chained to this man. And he treats her as if she is just this thing that he has to bring back to this other female that he's so infatuated with, that ain't worth a damn. Not really, because her heart is cold as stone, in my opinion. So he is on this journey to bring this star back to this stupid female that isn't worth his time. And along the way, they keep dealing with certain situations with each other. It's like they get captured, and they keep dealing with different scenarios where it's like the trip is delayed even further, and they're spending more time with each other. And as he's spending time with her, he realizes he loves this star. He didn't love this woman that's back home who's selfish, who wanted the star. He loves this star because she is kind, she is pure, she is the kind of person that you should want to be with. She is precious, and she shines, she embodies this energy that is precious, that you should want. And so over time, after dealing with one scenario after another on this journey that he's on with her, he realizes he wants her. He don't want this other female that he should have never wanted in the first place, because she didn't treat him right, and she was one of these cold-hearted karmic people that you don't need to have nothing to do with. So at one point in the movie, after he's figured this out, that he would actually want to be with the star, not this karmic female, he goes and knocks on, well, basically they end up back to this village, back to where this female, this karmic female is, and he knocks on the door, and he leaves this star in a hotel somewhere. And what he's basically going to do is he's going to go up to this karmic female and tell her to get over herself, because she thinks so highly of herself. Like, I'm not talking about self-love, I'm talking about she's just way too into herself, and she is like a cold-hearted narc type female. And he basically was going to go there and pretend that he was, trying to woo her and all that, but really what he tells her is that you need to get over yourself. I enjoyed that part. Anyway, after he gets done doing that, the woman who is the star, who's left in the hotel, she thinks that he left her behind, that he has, because he slept with her the night before, so she thinks, okay, I guess I gotta go. I guess he left. So she's gonna go cross this border that would cause her to, I guess, like spontaneously combust, because it's like a magical wall, and this is like in the 1800s, so that's why it sounds so crazy. But anyway, he figures out that she left and she was going to do this, and he goes running after her. And this witch, the entire movie is after them, like this actual witch. I don't mean like, a mean woman. I mean like she deals with spells and stuff like that. She is searching this star because this star energy can bring her youth. Like, she basically will turn into this old, nasty, ugly hag unless she has this. She can consume and kill this star because she came from, the sky, and she is basically a human form of a star. So she has magical powers inside of her. But that's how these people are. They're I'm not saying, this is not a Disney movie and people embody some kind of power that can do 3D things, but I mean, they embody this energy that is just so pure and genuine and just not found anywhere, and they're so valuable. But anyway, this witch and everybody else is just trying to cause conflict between this man and this star. And anyway, he goes chasing after her, and she is captured by this witch, and she is, bound to some kind of table because she's gonna try to kill this star, this woman. And she ends up not killing her, and they end up, running off together, like the star and the man. They end up running off together and being with each other, but it's like they gotta go through all this mess. And had this man not gone after this star, even though it was for the wrong reasons, he would have never figured out what love was, because love is not control, love is not selfish, love is not self-seeking, love is not all these things that people project. It is not about getting stuff. What is going on? It is about accepting the person in front of you. I don't mean some crappy person, but it is about an equal give and take. And when you purely love somebody, you're not looking to treat somebody as if they're just supposed to do for you, as if they're just supposed to be there to consume from, which is what this karmic shows an example of, that she basically embodies this energy like, well, I'll be with you if you do this for me. But really, I don't even know if she would have been with him if he gave her the star. And she probably would have abused them both, the star and the dude, and he would have been miserable married to her. But what I'm trying to get at is, a lot of people, they have no idea what love really is. And they will choose friends and choose romantic partners that are just like this female in this movie, where it's like, well, if you do this for me, I'll be this for you. That's not genuinity. That's not love. That is somebody you don't want to have a damn thing to do with, because they will suck the life out of you times 1,000, and then act as if you should just do for them, or you should just give to them because, you should be blessed that they even want anything to do with you. And people have that kind of arrogance where they think that just because they might be a part of your life, or they might add some kind of value. Like, what I'm saying is, by being in your life, you're getting something from somebody, even if it's the most minimal thing. Some people you'd have to look real close. But they act as if, you should act so grateful and bow at their feet and just do for them. And then they'll sit there and take for granted somebody who is a freaking diamond, who they have a pure heart, they have pure intentions, they have, empathy, they go out of their way for people. I don't mean all people, and I don't mean that they're dormant. I'm just saying they have a heart that nobody else does, basically. That's all I'm trying to get at, is that they have a heart that nobody else does. And for whatever reason, man, you just got all these... It's like, okay, look at the witch. All she wanted from this star was her life, because by consuming this woman who embodied this star energy, she was going to have youth. So she's like, okay, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to go and find her, and I'm going to kill her, and I'm going to have eternal youth because I want to look beautiful. And then the other female, karmic female, who basically treated this guy as if he was nothing unless he brought back a star to her. I don't even know what she wanted with this star, but it's just like, people want somebody like that, but they want them there so that they can break them down into nothing and almost consume them, like as if... You ever see these movies where it's like people are like eating an animal that's live, or they're doing, like, they look like this creature, like a vampire or something, they're just eating people? That's what people do. They just want to devour somebody that has that star energy, and they want to ruin them, and it's just sick. And then they'll go and choose somebody who isn't worth nothing. Like, they'll go and choose somebody who is cold as stone, who has no conscience, who selfish, adds no real value to anybody. But they'll go and choose that while trying to consume off of you everything you got. I'm talking about, like, you can embody the star energy that I'm referring to, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's great that you're around. Let me go ahead and consume everything that you are, so that I can, take every little bit of you that I can, so I can get the benefit off of it. It's almost like you're their drug or something. Whatever it is that they need you to fulfill their needs, so that they can, feel, I guess, confident or feel good about themselves. And then after they've done destroyed you 10 times fold and broke you down and, basically, destroyed you from the inside out, then they want to go and choose somebody else, which they didn't ever choose you. They were just, spending time to ruin you and suck you dry of what you had. But then they want to go over here and choose somebody that's karmic as hell, who will take everything from them in the end, treat them a long, hard lesson. Really, they're destroying themselves. They're destroying themselves by doing this. Like, they're choosing people who are going to destroy them worse. And there's some kind of screwed up thinking in here that says that they feel the need to cling on to these karmic people because there's something in them internally that doesn't add up. So these karmic people must have something that they don't. All they have is poison that's going to break somebody down. And they will choose somebody like that over that star. I mean, this man, he woke up to his senses and he's like, wait a minute. Why am I worried about this karmic female that couldn't care less about me? And I got a star here. And I'm about to go give it to her? No. That man, he was not right in the beginning, but he woke up and he changed his thinking and he treated this woman right for the precious stone she is. And he chose her over that karmic. But lots of people, they don't do that. They'll choose a karmic friend. They'll choose a karmic romantic relationship. And then they'll still try to consume that person who embodies that star energy. And act like, I'm going to go over here and take what you got so that I can embody or like almost take on this value that you got so that I can go over here and share it with this karmic. I'm sorry, what? No. So I just want you to feel appreciated that if people have been doing that to you and you embody that star energy and people have been choosing these karmic people over you and you are a rarity, you have a pure heart, you have good intentions, you are not like everybody else, and you do not change at the drop of a hat just because people can't understand your true value. I applaud you, and I would say get rid of anybody in your life that you possibly can that embodies this karmic type energy where they feel entitled and selfish and they have no real value to be in your life. And you embody this star energy and you are precious. You are precious and you are rare. And you deserve to have somebody that comes around that sees you for the beautiful star that you are and does not put you in situations where you are being consumed off of, where you are being used, where you are being mistreated. They will come across you and two stars will be together. You'll both be a star. There's too many people that end up dealing with karmic people, which is why they end up being mistreated. Hold out for the other star. There's another half of a star out there that matches the piece of your star. And you can come together and be a full star. And they will not be doing this crap that other people do where they're trying to consume off of you and go be with some fool. Whether it's a friend or a romantic relationship, they are not going to be doing all that. They are going to be a star, and then they are going to see you for the beautiful star you are, and then two stars are going to be together, and then you're going to rule the world. And don't settle for less. Because there's too many karmic people that I want to just kick onto the curb, kick in the butt. Need to go on somewhere, princess. No. Wait for your star. There's another star that's going to appear out of nowhere. And two stars are going to be together. You're going to find star friends. You're going to find a star relationship. But you just may be waiting for a while. That's where it gets a lot of people, is they're tired of waiting. But the best things are worth waiting for, and the best things are never easy to obtain. Easy things are not the best, but the best things are worth waiting for. So wait a little longer for your star friend, for your star relationship. People who are a star and they recognize a star, and you all come together and you shine brighter and you blind those karmic people.